Story 1. Is that so? A beautiful girl in the village was pregnant. Her angry parents demanded to know who was the father. At first resistant to confess, the anxious and embarrassed girl finally pointed to Hakuin, the Zen master, whom everyone previously revered for living such a pure life. When the outraged parents confronted Hakuin with their daughter's accusation, he simply replied, "Is that so?" When the child was born, the parents brought it to the Hakuin, who now was viewed as a pariah by the whole village. They demanded that he take care of the child, since it was his responsibility. "Is that so?" Hakuin said calmly as he accepted the child. For many months, he took very good care of the child until the daughter could no longer withstand the lie she had told. She confessed that the real father was a young man in the village whom she had tried to protect. The parents immediately went to Hakuin to see if he would return the baby. With profuse apologies, they explained what had happened. "Is that so?" Hakuin said as he handed them the child. Welcome, dear friend, to the ocean of mind, a boundless sanctuary where the seeds of wisdom gently sprout, and the path to profound personal growth softly illuminates. In this sacred moment, we invite you to embark on a journey of inner cultivation. Over the coming moments, you are going to witness two unique and transformative Zen wisdom tales. Each story is a gentle beacon, a simple narrative that holds the power to inspire growth and deepen your understanding of your inner self. These tales are not complex puzzles. They are direct invitations to embrace the natural unfolding of your own wisdom, and to rediscover the profound peace that resides within your deepest being. There is nothing to do now, nowhere to go. Simply listen and allow yourself to drift on the calm waters of pure awareness. Let us begin with our first story. We are free to tell the mountain that it is too high, the road that it winds too much, and the ocean that it is too wet. The master taught the village that perception is a relative phenomenon, and that reality simply is what it is, despite how people label it. Public criticism is a means for those who do not know themselves well. But for well, self-understanding people, it means nothing. My tickling is piqued by the choosing of Zen master names, yes. I bet Izzat so Hawkeen is some kind of mystic chant that the author wanted readers to mutter over and over again as they read this koan. We all have responsibilities. Sometimes others create them for us. We then have a choice to accept these responsibilities or fight them. The Zen master sees the greater good in accepting responsibilities that he did not ask for or plan on. That girl is a lying slut. Hakuin must have been aware of his perceived status in the community. He accepted his charge by a member of the community unencumbered. With compassion, he completed the mission. No matter that child was as we all once were. The only difference is in being. Hakuin accepted another's lie for truth as proof of his virtue of ethics and morality. To be in harmony with the world. The monk's calmness is admirable, but the idea that one should not speak the truth when confronted with a lie is potentially very harmful. Perhaps the monk did not recognize his reputation among the people, or the impact it would have on them.
Because if the daughter never admitted to lying about who the child's true father was, she may have created a spirit of cynicism among the people.
That even the most spiritual types of people are not really so, but are simply putting on an act, is what a lot of people would have taken from this situation if the truth never arose. People shouldn't be dependent on the opinions of others for their happiness, but they should also recognize the impact that their life will make on others, and therefore not permit calumny to prevail. Is that so? So what? So what if he was or wasn't the father? Details cannot overshadow what is right or wrong. Everyone allowed themselves to be bothered by truly trivial details, and allowed these trivial details to act as ethical guidelines for action. Questions lead to the truth. Have you ever heard the following in a conversation? Well, why didn't you tell me? Because you didn't ask. It is the same here. Nobody asked Hakuin if he was the father, nobody asked if he would care for the child, and nobody asked for it back. We must learn to ask the right questions of the world around us, and to request, not demand all the time. People will act on their own convictions if there is no response. Just because everyone knows something to be true does not mean that it is. People saying something does not make it true. Knowing yourself is the most important thing. No matter what your reputation is, no matter how much your virtue is praised, because it depends on the opinions of others, it does not reflect the real you. I like Richard Bach's Messiah's Handbook from Illusions. Live, never to be ashamed, if what you do or say is published around the world. Even as what is published is not true. Even a large stone cannot stop the river. Its resistance marks its demise. Perhaps it is too obvious that is that so, is both a passive challenge to the accusers and an invitation to look more deeply into the matter, both of which were repeatedly declined. The Hakuin wisely declines to force the issue, accepting minor injustice while avoiding greater disharmony. The Master has achieved complete acceptance of every person, situation, and emotion. He has no fear of being unjustly labelled. He receives the child and gives up the child with the same peace of mind. He is both a detached observer and a complete participant. The Zen Master taught that there is no difference between truth and lie, because all happenings in life will be experienced through the filter of our sense organs. That is why he reacted equally to both, the accusation and the apology. Another example, that children born out of wedlock are foisted onto others,
who must then pay for the bundle of joy.
No mention is stated of the devastating effects of terminating a baby's initial bonding with a caretaker. I'll bet the monk never received a Father's Day card. When I read this story for the first time, I thought that the only words that Hakuin knew were "is that so?" I then thought that couldn't be right, so I read it again. Now I just don't know what to think. So what? In asking the question, "Is that so?" perhaps the Zen Master was trying to tip the people about truth. It is not subjective. It is. He may not have believed their apology at the end as true as he did not believe their accusations as true. Their judgment of him was not relevant to him. The truth is the truth, and is what matters. You can't tell the whole story by reading the front page. Truth is what you make it. In a society, truth is what most of the people think it is. Or is it? Truth. What is it? Story 2. It will pass. A student went to his meditation teacher and said, "My meditation is horrible. I feel so distracted, or my legs ache, or I'm constantly falling asleep. It's just horrible." "It will pass," the teacher said matter-of-factly. A week later, the student came back to his teacher. "My meditation is wonderful. I feel so aware, so peaceful, so alive. It's just wonderful." "It will pass," the teacher replied matter-of-factly. It is true that the only constant in life is change. Everyone's life, including their spiritual life, has its ups and downs, but they pass. All one can hope for, when the spiritual is in a down, is to keep it where it is, until one can progress further. The teacher knows that life has its own cycles. There are good days and bad days. This reminds me of Matthew 6:27. Who of you, by worrying, can add a single hour to his life? At times we feel bad, and at times we feel good. That is life, whether you are meditating or not. It seems this story is suggesting to not get caught up in the good and bad or any of the dualities of life, because it is all temporary. How true of meditation. I did have a reaction to this story. By now it's past. Life is not static, change occurs all the time. Time is a mighty force that wipes everything out. Even the stone at the river's edge experiences inevitable change. The warmth from the sun, the coolness of the snow, the erosion of the water. Nothing remains constant, and we must always be prepared to adapt to the current conditions. Being alive, life has its ups and downs, good days and bad, rain and sun, illness and health, laughter and tears. Nothing bad will last forever. Nothing good will last forever either. Whatever it is that we're looking for, truth, enlightenment, nirvana, the kingdom of God, wisdom, etc., I think it goes far beyond just pleasure and pain. I read another Buddhist story a while ago that went something like this. A student asked his master how he could meditate without being distracted by heat or cold. The master replied, "When it is hot, you burn to death. When it is cold, you freeze to death." Pleasure and pain are both important in their way, but they're about us and our human sensations, not about truth. Then again, they're probably a big part of the puzzle, and I just don't know what I'm talking about. Meditation isn't supposed to be about you and your feelings. During true meditation, there exists only bliss. In the language of the Buddha, Pali, Anicca, Anicca, Anicca. Change, change, change. At every moment there is change. There is nothing permanent. There is nothing to hold on to. No wonder in Zen that awareness is so key. Who knows what change will bring? Ecstasy will become ordinary, and the ordinary will become extraordinary. Everything is transitory. Depression and jubilation are the hills and valleys along our path. One inevitably follows another. The only constant in life is change. This story demonstrates the impermanence of all things. Do not become attached to your bad feelings or to your good feelings for that matter. They are both equal in the fact they will both come to an end. Just experience things. Do not think, do not think, do not. I believe that if you think of something too much, how the meditation feels, you are changing the intent of the meditation and it will no longer be natural. The Zen master was trying to tell the student that meditation isn't about good or bad. It's not about emotion. It's about clarity. The eternal motion of yin/yang. Polarities seek their opposites. A hot cup of coffee becomes cold if left to itself, and a cold glass of water becomes warm. There are fools who think that since they are going through a good or bad phase in life, that it'll stay that way. Everything that a person studies about the life can be summed up in 3 words: life goes on. It will pass. Life is a process, not a conclusion. Your road through life is filled with an assortment of ruts and rocks, but it also has pleasant stretches of pavement. If you are currently in a rut, don't worry and be strong. It will pass. If you're riding the pavement, however, beware it too will pass.